Welcome to the Egyptian campaign for Et Impera 1.2.6. In the last part, we pushed up here and destroyed the Adrasians, and what I want to do now is shift the focus down towards Pella and Naissos. What the Romans seem to have done is actually brought up a, well, it looks like a full stack army here, so life could start to get a little bit interesting. Now, before we actually get into the gameplay, I want to talk about something that has come up a couple of times in the comments recently, and that is influence and how regions are allocated to the other families. I'm going to start with other regions. So if we come into the map here, you will see that I'm on if I flip back to here, this is the size of the empire. If I come to this one here, it says political party affiliations. What you'll see here is how the territory is split up amongst other parties. And what you'll see is the pale green is owned by the faction, the Ptolemies. Then you've got the noble families, which have actually got more influence than the actual ruling family. And then you've got the Macedonian nobility and the Egyptian nobility. Got a few little areas in here. One thing you need to be aware of is that you've got absolutely no control over the allocation of these regions. It's purely split up according to the amount of influence owned by each family. And more importantly, while it does start to settle down a bit as you get to the mid to late game, but quite often these will move around from time to time, and there's a very real possibility as we expand into Macedonia here, the Ptolemaic lands will go this way, and then the Egyptian nobility will move into this area here, and or either that or the Macedonian nobility will push through and take up the lands. And the only thing that seems to be consistent is that when something's quite small, the game tries to get adjacency, but you can see that the Ptolemaic lands are split up across the various parts of the map, and there's nothing you can do about it except just avoid civil war. Now if I come into here and I'll show you the level of influence, you can see at the moment the influence of the Ptolemaic dynasty is actually 36%. And if I come to the character screen, you will see that the noble families here have got 51% influence, these guys have got 6%, and these have got 7%. And probably the main reason why these have gained so much is they've actually got 3 generals in here. And one of the annoying things with influence, and it's some of the reasons why I tend to just ignore it, it seems to be a bit of a broken mechanic, because what you seem to need to do is if you want to get this up quite high, you've got to do it in the first 100 turns, and that by really working and developing your family characters at the expense of the other families. And then when it gets to a certain point, it just seems to remain almost static. So like at the current situation now, it'd be very difficult for me to even get this up to influence respected. A lot of people seem to be under the impression that influence is based on gravitas. It isn't. It's a fairly complicated calculation based on the amount of gravitas per turn, and it just doesn't make sense, to be honest. I've looked at it, and I've looked at the calculation, and it's like how much gravitas each family puts on per turn, and then it's a complicated calculation which the top ones steal gravitas from other land, and it works on very small percentages. Doesn't really change dramatically over time. And when you do missions, and the occasional missions, you do get influence with the senators, and also acquiring senators doesn't seem to have much impact on how influence moves forward. And I'll be completely honest, what I tend to do is just ignore it. I find that the benefits that you get from gaining influence are so limited and can be really offset by reducing your empire maintenance and getting some strong, stable provinces. So even if it drops down to, say, here, I mean, the losses, yes, I mean, probably the biggest one there is actually the effective diplomacy, because that makes it tougher. But once you're a big, powerful empire, you can even ignore that. The rest of it is, as long as you're playing the game well, even these don't really seem to make that much difference. Anyway, that out the way, what we need to do now is think a little bit of what we want to do here, because we've got a full stack Roman army there. And my inclination is this army can literally get into there. I mean, I could bring this siege army up over there, couldn't I? And I think maybe we're going to go for them. And what we're going to do is bring you Actually, I'm not sure how far he would be able to move. I'm not sure he could actually reach me. But I think what we might do is give him a little bit of a tempting target. See if we can draw that army out. And I think we're going to just bring this army down for the assist. Well, this army's not going to get very far, is it? I think this army needs to fall back. And this army isn't even any better, is it? This is a second siege army. I think I've just messed this up a little bit. I think what we're going to have to do is bring you up over here, give an assist for this army, and this army is just going to have to be a little bit of a bait, so that what can happen is if these guys push against us, these can retreat. This army can come into here, and then if we can draw this Roman legion away. In fact, let's go take a look, see at him. Can I get close enough to see him? Oh, look at that! There's two of them here. These guys mean business, don't they? Veteran spear at maniples, Napoleon heavy armor. Wow. This army's a little bit weaker. I think this is going to be the tougher one to take on. Interestingly, they don't have that much. Oh, they've got a little bit of cav here. They've got crossbowmen. I mean, they're a little bit of hodgepodge armies, actually. I think I want to get this agent over this way, I think. I think if we take this settlement here, that gives me a strike range down from here. And then what we're going to have to do is try and draw out these armies. But I'm going to have to try and form some battle groups. If these two operate together, they're going to be very difficult to beat. And we've got a great big pile of cash to spend. I can't remember what I've actually got from here. Got some political intrigue, which didn't exactly work out very well. We got Ptolemy the Sixth has returned. A child has died. I do have a new family member on the way as well. We see there's a construction report. Okay, we've got. Let's just first start filling in this. We certainly want that. We certainly want the library, and I think we'll go with that. We can. That's looking good. I don't think there's much else I want to build at the moment. This is the main one here. This is repaired, which gives me a garrison of 20 here. Not a particularly strong garrison, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push on with the end turn. I don't think I really feel the need. I don't think I really feel the need to build anything else, so we're just going to go for an end turn. I think I'd rather push against the Romans for the moment. Okay, we lost a child. Attrition report. An agent exposed. Child is born. Child is born. Child is born. And we've now got Ptolemy the Eighth, a new royal rival. Just take a look at Ptolemy the Eighth. And he's probably going to be down here. I mean, we could adopt him. We want him in the family. I don't know if you can you? I don't think you can adopt female characters. Can you? Yes, I can. Okay. Not that I don't really want to do a double political action. So we've now got Ptolemy the Eighth here. Join our family. He's 20 years old. I don't know what the political consequences of that is. A little bit. So I think I'm going to need to work on the cooldown a little bit. And we're going to need now. Where is? So these two Roman armies are still kind of hanging in there at the moment. I think what we're going to try and do is a little bit of sabotage.
A most excellent choice, my lord.
Of course, we failed, and we've now been exposed. I mean, this is going to be quite an easy battle. I'm a bit inclined to actually use this army rather than this army with the lead, because then he will get some experience. And he's the heir, if I remember correctly, from the last video. Theodolus. Get rid of those. Yep. And if I get him a bit of experience, he might be able to get married. Yeah, I think he can lead with the battle, so he's going to come in here. Just want to check something before we attack. Yeah, these guys can come up and attack. I think what we're going to do is we're going to fight this manually to try and reduce the casualties. So we're going to fight this first. I'm not going to fight in the rain. Okay. Nice and dry. This is quite a big Roman city. It's very flat as well. Could be interesting. How are we going to get in here? My instinct is to punch in through here. Just put our front line in. Don't have that much melee infantry as well. I think we'll have you on the left there. We've got cav superiority, so we'll put the cav out here. Keep the elephants on this side. Actually, I think what we're going to do is we'll just have the general on this side as well. And we'll have the usual formation of archers and missile troops working with the infantry on this side. Flip you back the other way. I think that's about it. So we'll just start the battle. And I think now they're not going to come out against us, so we're going to have to. Well, they're coming out a little bit against us. Let's say we need to use our Av to our advantage, so push the Tarantines out that way.
Ready and waiting.
Keep moving.
As you command. For the Pharaoh, strength unto him. Slingers.
I'm a bit inclined to split off one of my infantry to go that way, work with the cav.
We are at your command. By your command. Yes, Commander.
Wait,
At the ready. For Egypt.
right, we've got a narrow gap there. Let me just start to align my pikes with that narrow entrance there.
Orders, my lord.
Bring these guys up.
Advance
I'm
and speed.
a bit inclined to split off another one as well.
Naissos.
We got some missile troops there.
What are your orders? We are at your
And I'm
command.
inclined to
Proud sons of Egypt. Ready. Fight phalanx. Pikemen awaiting orders. Ready and waiting.
start moving these guys forward.
Ptolemaic cavalry.
Have up here.
Archers. At speed.
Bring the
We will darken the
heavy
sky.
archers in there.
Militaries ready.
You can come in as a central reserve.
Orders, my lord.
Tarantines, let's just get rid of these guys. Get rid of these slingers.
Ready for orders.
I'll bring these guys out as well.
Pikemen. Missile. What are your orders? Cavalry.
Cavalry that way as well.
We await your orders. At your service.
The archers.
Canteen cavalry.
in there.
What are your orders?
Get the flanking attack going.
In the sky! Thorax Hoplite! Waiting orders! At the ready!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Canteen cavalry! Reform!
Tarantines push that way.
We serve the mighty Pharaoh! Shield us!
Right, that unit is a little bit of a problem, but it's gonna be okay because we're going to bring these in on this side. Bring Ptolemaic cavalry that way.
Canteen cavalry!
In the melee troops. Right, Tarantines. We're now.
What are your orders? What are your orders? Fire! Ready! Fire! Orders!
Got the.
Missile cavalry ready. Ready, man.
Right, these guys are exposed. You come in this way.
Orders, my lord!
Bringing the infantry in.
Canteen cavalry! At your service! Pikemen! Yes! Waiting orders!
The battle is turning in our favor.
Right, start hitting the
Canteen cavalry!
Tarantines. Pull away. Elephants. Wherefore art the elephants? There they are.
Ready and waiting!
You round the back.
At your service.
You come in that side.
My lord! To be answered!
Hit this general unit from all directions with missile.
Orders! My lord!
Phalanx. Heavy archers. You pull away because you're firing now onto my own troops. Right, we're going to turn the map now. We've got them boxed.
For Egypt! Slingers! Fire! What are you running? Aye! Thorax Hoplites!
One of our units
Right,
has used all its ammunition.
Hoplites that way.
Canteen cavalry! We are at your command!
Actually, you push there. Was my general.
Mage cavalry! Riders, advance! War elephants!
More elephants coming on this corner here. May not need them, but might as well get them into action.
One of our units has used all its...
Your command!
Missile troops out.
Ready for order!
We don't need you anymore because you're going to be hitting my own troops.
Orders, my lord! Swordsmen! Melee infantry! Fire!
Orders? Orders understood. Missile cavalry ready.
The brave ready for orders!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
We are at your command!
You turn that flank.
Orders! Pikemen! Pikemen! We await your command!
One of our units has used all
Right,
its ammunition.
pikemen start to push forward into them.
General! Orders understood.
Right, their general unit is going.
Pikes! March! Orders!
You guys, I don't think I really need you. You pull out.
At the ready!
What I want to do is just open up a little bit of an entrance here so that we can actually use the elephants.
Your command! My lord! To glory!
Right, they're gone. End battle. Yeah, we lost 95 there, and we killed 1,526. I think the losing the general just literally crushed their morale there, and which worked very much well in my favour. And down they go. Because we're going to occupy, because we want this settlement. And my general's got a promotion. And what I'm going to do now is just bring this army in about there.
You have further
So
orders?
if these guys want to give me a bit of an unpleasant surprise, I'll do it. I'm actually quite like that for the moment. I'm going to take that up. Don't really need the grain silo there. I think I'd rather turn that into ordinary food. Now, these guys can come up, and in theory they could attack this settlement. In some ways I'll hope they do, because if they do, because we got the two armies there, we should be okay. Can't move this agent. I'm going to bring this agent. So there's another. Oh, look at this heavy sword maniple. Oh, this could be interesting. Elite spear units. Oh, we're gonna have some fun dealing with these guys. I just want to see. So Apollonia is exposed. We've got an army there.
Ready for battle.
I think we're going to bring this army across. I mean, he is. He might stop replenishing,
Is
but
that all? At
and I
your
think we're
command.
just going to bring this army back. Or do I want to? I think I'm going to bring this army back to about here
March.
for the
Is
moment.
that all, my
He's
lord?
not, because this one's not actually replenishing. Yes, he is a little bit. Ah, yeah, okay. A little bit of illusion there.
We fight for you, my lord.
Now, what I'd like to do is for these two armies to come together and combine so that we can mount an attack on Pella, but with two full stack armies and virtually a full garrison here, that would be quite interesting. Somehow we've got to manage to pull some of these armies away, but one of the problems with Pella is that in some ways the AI is placed. In some ways, the AI has placed these two armies quite intelligently, because I can't get past Pella to get to these armies and pick them off with night attacks. So that could be a bit of a problem. But what we're going to have to do is just try and keep squeezing in on them, I think, and see what we can actually do. Got 163,000 to spend, and I suppose I should really go through the Empire and see how things are working out. Let me just see what the situation is. Overall, the public order is good. Break is, I mean, hopefully we can stabilize this area. I mean, we got, well, what's the other option here? The best one. Diamonds, that's 1250. This is mine shaft. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, you should be a diamond, not a... Yeah, I don't think this actually gives me any other benefit. I think we'll change that to diamonds. Not that I need the money, but we might as well just keep building it up. Tather over here, looking good. Can I actually bring you into the fold now? Yes, you can. We got plenty of food. That's going to improve my income even more. But overall, we're looking good. I mean, Sazir is pretty strong.
How can I
Kind of inclined to bring this army back up out here, because these are the two most important settlements. This one's okay, but at the same time, it's not really worth protecting too much. I mean, how's the culture in here? Yeah, I mean, we're building up now. We're 49%. In fact, next term we'll get 50%, which will give us the majority culture in this area. The Pali culture is still rising, but we're actually removing the Persian and the Hinduism and all the other ones here as well. Egyptian culture is actually rising as well, but that's because I've got the temple. I don't think Egyptian culture is going to become too much of a problem at the moment. It's only 1.2%, and in some ways that is reducing the cultures in the other areas as well. And I've lost track of where I am. I mean, there's a kind of no real penalty here except for regional income from taxes. But we cannot offset that against the Empire maintenance. I think I'm inclined to put that in. I don't want to build up too many of these water tanks. Egypt is looking nice and rock solid. Probably do with some more food here. We've got plenty of public order, so that's 9, that's 9. This is the one that I want, isn't it? 18. Yeah, I think we can take that up. I know I don't need the food, but I always like to have a nice big reserve. We got here 120 trained slaves. Reduces slave population decline. I'm not particularly worried about slave population. I know some players really go after a slave economy, but again, my attitude tends to be that it's quite often not worth the effort, to be honest. And the problems, of course, because you can get problems by having a big slave economy. Maybe I can inch up the public order here a little bit. That in Syria. I mean, anyone else got fairly low public order at the moment? Wow, this guy's got 30. And I think we can afford to get a little bit more food, a little bit more fish from here. Let's take that up as well. In Area. You've already got the faction-wide benefit here. So I'm not sure what else we would get from this. Not really seeing anything substantially beneficial. We get a little bit more wine, but I think my trading is probably pretty strong already. Asian. I think what I might do is just take a look at. I mean, this army's okay. What other armies and navies have I got round here?
It is an honor.
Actually, let's have a look. What have I got in the way of? I think I've got all my armies deployed, haven't I? I've got all 14 armies, and I've got all my fleets. I mean, is it going to be worth recruiting another fleet? Say if I bring in another fleet. I mean, I've got so much money. And this is a good place to recruit a fleet. So let's just raise another fleet, I think. And who have we got in the way of generals? Who are you? Ptolemaic, 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 Ptolemaic. So everybody. I mean, this guy would be. It would cost me 11,000 to recruit him. I don't really want another one of those in my empire. This is Ptolemy the 8th, isn't he? This is Ptolemy the 6th. I think maybe we'll give Ptolemy the 6th a crack at it at the moment. And what we're going to do is Egyptian Marines. What was it? A gigantic 50-meter. Must admit, I've never really built up my navies as such. Ship speed. 4, 28 weapons damage. Doesn't seem to be a lot in here. It seems to be more look than anything else. That one's not a lot in it, so we're
Good orders, my lord.
great you. And the first thing we're going to do is get
We need good
one of
strong.
those in. And again, I think we're going to go really top end for this navy. Don't like fire pots. Egyptian Marine Archers. Missile damage 15. This has got a Scorpion on it. And we'll have a couple of artillery. And I think for the fun of it, we'll I mean, you're 105. 105. I think we'll have one of these as well as an artillery lineup, and then what we'll do is we'll drop in some of those as well, and we'll just build that fleet up. There's one thing we are going to need to do is once we've got Pella and Athens, we're going to have to defend these with navies to release the armies to keep the push going. I think that's about all I can do this turn, so I'm just going to go for an end turn. Okay, we've got an unassigned skill for Theodosis. He's our new general. He's just won the battle. And as usual, we're going to lay the foundation of becoming a knight commander. And we'll see if we can draw the Romans up. But a son comes of age. And we've lost a priestess. Where did we lose the priestess from? Okay, we've lost a priestess from this area. Completed research labor organization. Mission issued. We've got treasury plus 500. Beat the following army belonging to Legio 1. Means we've got to defeat this army. Construction report. Okay. We lost a priestess. Where was it now? Down in his area here. And we've got a public order issue now.
How can I assist?
Let's put you in patrol. Does that turn the public order around? I think what we're going to do is put this down. I may need to adjust this a little bit. Get some more public order in this area. Because I don't really want to keep a priestess down here. What I would like to do is have the priestess up here. Because I'm not... What's the cultural conversion like? Yeah, I mean, the culture here, conversion here is really strong. But I still think I would like to have a priestess in this area. Because, of course, technically the priestesses are governors. Public order... What I would rather like is cultural conversion, but this, we're going to have to take that.
What can I do for each?
And these guys don't want to move, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this agent back to about here.
Setting forth in Pharaoh's name.
And I'm going to try and sucker the Romans out. So what we're going to do is it's winter. What we're going to do is we're going to pull these armies back
For you, my lord.
about here.
My lord, at ease.
That leaves this settlement open and exposed. What I would like to do is for one of these armies to come up and try and take this back. So, and hopefully we will sucker them in. So what was the research that I did? Research complete. Labour organisation. I think that was somewhere here. Here it is, this one. We've now got the ability to get more food. We've got +5 wealth. All regions. That's quite profitable. Now if we complete this, we will get some +7 food. This one's finished. This one's finished. So the question is, do I go on and spend 6 turns completing this? That research rate, 904%. Or do I go military? -10%. I think that would be quite useful. Recruitment -4, all fleets. I mean, I just don't like this here. Although that does give me +5 morale for all melee infantry. at the cost of 0.5% upkeep cost. Anything else here that will give me building construction times, plus 10% missile damage inflicted by all siege weapons, -7 attritional costs. I think what I'm going to do is, this is only going to be one turn, and it's not like we're short of cash, so I think we're going to research that just for the fun of it. I mean, I've got 192,000 now, cash-wise. We can't move very far at the moment because it's winter.
Ready for battle. What can I do for Egypt?
I'm going to creep this army down here.
What can I do for Egypt?
That brings us within striking range of the... Hello, we've got these two armies here. I just would love one of these armies to come up and take this, and then we'll take it back again. That's the idea anyway. Here we're just gonna let's have a quick look at the messages. Nothing else here. Sun comes of age, construction report, mission issued, yes. Provinces, another quick flash through. I mean, nothing much has actually changed. So one more turn and we get that temple. Your public order's got a little bit low. We could take that up. Look at that increase for food, but I think we're gonna take that up. There, just to improve that little bit of public order. The public order's a little bit shaky here, but we've got this coming in next turn. So I think Marder will be okay. Here we got a falling public order in this area. I think we'll push that up there. I mean, it's probably more to do with the fact it's winter, but I think sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Asia is got a few. Again, it's probably the... Well, no, it's not showing here. I think we may need to start thinking about taking out Pergamon just to get control of that provincial capital. Whereas their armies are still floating around here. We've got this one here that's pretty beaten up, but at the same time they've got an army here that is going out that way to take on Parthia. I think we'll give them a chance to show their mettle against Parthia. There's also another army floating around here somewhere. If I could find him. Never mind. Yeah, I think there's... Well, actually, there's one here, isn't there? There he is. Although he's only got a he's only got 16. I think we need to sort this situation out. Maybe then I'll come back to Parthia. I'm just going to shoot one more end turn just to see whether the Romans will take the bait. So we got promotion here. Oh, it's not my new agent. Has already got instant promotion. I give her +1 authority. I like that because she's bound to get hit by agents. Yeah, 5% chance of avoiding enemy agents. And we'll double that down because there's bound to be a lot of agent activity in this area. I'm just going to go for an end turn. There's Italy in turmoil. War in Italy. The Senate of Rome enlists legions to defend the Republic. As long as Rome and the city are not taken by force, Rome will fill the ranks of the army to repel any aggressors. Okay, we've got physical conditioning, which is okay. Pirates spotted. Oh, great. That's all I need. Pirates. Means we're going to have to pull our navies back to deal with the pirates. So it looks like Rome may be in a little bit of trouble. Where did that army go? It's still here. I think what we may have to do now is actually come in with 4 armies. I don't really like the fighting battles like this because they will have a garrison of 17. You've got an army of 20, an army of 20. So what we're going to have to do is
Ready for battle.
start moving.
How
I
can
mean,
assist,
yeah.
fellow?
What we're going to have to do is move this army up
To serve at once.
with this army,
Do for Egypt. At once.
and
Our path is blocked. How
you're
can I
in
assist,
range. You can
fellow?
move forward.
March. We fight
You
for
need to move
my lord.
forward, just in front
Setting
here.
forth in Pharaoh's name.
So yeah, so maybe do a smidge further forward.
Advance. We fight for
You
my lord.
behind. So we could tempt the Romans into a 2-on-2 battle here, or a 2-on-2 battle here. And the idea is that what we may have to do is go in with all 4 armies, so we'll have a really major battle here. Now this is going to be incredibly messy because the game is not really structured for big massive armies of 4 armies against 3 armies. And I mean, to be honest, the maximum really is 2 armies against 2 armies, because then you get all the units on the field at the same time, and then you can plan a strategy. With 4 armies attacking 3 armies, what's going to happen is that you're going to have the primary attacking army will be on the battlefield, and then the reinforcements from the other 3 armies will come in kind of piecemeal, and that will also apply to the defending armies as well. They will have the garrison here, which has got 17, which will be tucked inside the city, and then what you will get is these troops marching in, but because they can only have a maximum of 40 units, what you'll get is half of this army in, and it'd be the same with my 4 armies here. We'll have 1 full army, and then effectively 33% of each of the other 3 armies drifting in. So it'd be quite a messy battle. But that will all be for the next part. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.